When we brought Eli home, I would put him to bed every night. And it was this awesome little ritual that we had come up with, you know. We'd go into his nursery, which was this quiet, gentle, happy place. And I would sing him songs and I would tell him stories. I taught him how to play peekaboo. And he rocked it from the start. He was naturally gifted. And every night before I put him to bed, I would, you know, just kind of hold him and give him a little kiss. And I would start my speech. It was a regular thing. I will see you in the morning. I will be here when you wake up. And I am going to be here the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that, and you're gonna get sick of me, and I will still be here for you. Good night. Thank you very much. And it took me months to figure out that I wasn't saying that for him. I was saying it for me. I was born in 1982 in Guatemala City, and my father abandoned our family when I was an infant. And I grew up thinking I was okay, you know? And it wasn't that I was trying to be tough, that I was hiding anything. I was an infant. I had no memory, right? And so I could tell that I was missing something other kids had called a dad. I associated it with sports and money, you know? And that's what I thought was going on. And when we were small, my older sister, 2 years older, she would cry. And I remember watching her cry, and she would say, "Quiero a mi papá, quiero a mi papá. I want my dad, I want my dad." And my mom, who's here tonight, would comfort her. And I would just kind of think, whatever hit her, spared me, because I'm fine. Until one night, putting Eli to bed. You know, I was fresh off of my discovery of unconditional love, right? It was a huge thing. And I could feel his trust in me, right? Just laying in his crib. He trusted me completely, implicitly, involuntarily. His trust for me swallowed everything, like my love for him did. Right? And I understood there, putting Eli to bed, that I had been there before. But in that previous time, I had been the child. And I understood for the first time what my father had abandoned. And it just snapped me. It was like there was this bubble of gunk, and it leaked all over. And I had access to all this pain that I had never felt, and I thought I had been fine all this time. And I just started bawling. And so Eli is in his bed like, what is going on? I just run out of the nursery. I go to our room. Noelle is asleep, and I'm like, what's happening, And she's out cold. I try to get into bed and be a quiet crier, but it's not going to happen. I have to bawl, So here's Noelle. She's rolling over and just totally confused. But they're enough to comfort me, right? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Until we both fell asleep. And that night began a search for my father. And it wasn't really a search, though, because with a search you want to find something, right? I had less of a search and more of an itch. I needed to scratch the itch of curiosity, but I didn't want to find him. I was terrified of finding him. So I would Google search his name, and I'd find news article on him or a court case against him. And always I thought, oh, that's so interesting, you know? But it never led me to him. And I liked it that way. I was like searching for landmines. You hope you don't find one. Until one night, Noelle and the kids were in California. We do this thing every year where she'll take off for a week and I'll stay home and eat cereal. Right? And it was one of those, I had come home, it was way too quiet, and here comes that feeling again, right? You gotta look for this. You gotta look for this guy. You have to find him. And so, okay, I have decided I'm going to take the gloves off. I'm going to take on this search. I had learned that a private investigator could help me find him and deliver a note, hand deliver a note for $1,500. I am going to do this. These $1,500 could change my life. This is worthwhile. And before I went to bed that night, I prayed and I said, I need to do this. I'm not asking for permission. I am going to do this. Will you back me up? And can we do it without $1,500? Can we do it for a low price? I was haggling with the Lord. And I had this idea right away. Boom, search Facebook for his first name and last name and the word Guatemala. And I did right away. And I got 2 results. Now, neither of them were the right age, and they were only last name results. But I knew they could be close because they had the last name, and they were fans of a Facebook page for Guatemala's aviation club, which I knew my father had been president of for a number of years. And so, last name, they like this page, dang. I sent the world's most awkward Facebook message from a stranger, right? And like I said, I'm creepy on Facebook. It's a thing. What do you say to these guys, right? My name is so-and-so. I am the child of so-and-so. I think we're family, but I don't know how. And, after doing that, my plans for going to bed were kind of indefinitely postponed. I was wired. There was no way I was going to close those eyes. So I start looking through photographs in one of these profiles, right? And it's boom, boom. And I, like I said, am I looking? I don't know. I'm just nervous. I'm just wired. And so, boom, there he is. Now, I have no memory of him. I hadn't seen him. So my brain didn't know it was him, but my body did. It was this weird thing where I started making a list of all the ways we were alike, right? The slightly raised hairline, the perma. I have this thing where I furrow my brow even when I'm happy. That's right there. The jawline. Holy moly, that's right there. Even certain things about the mask here, right? The way his wrinkles had grown over his mouth, right? And I'm making this list. And there's a part in my brain that's in charge of stop it! You don't want to look like this guy! Right? No! And I think around this time, Eli was 5. And he had taken to making up stuff that we had in common. And it was ridiculous, right? It started with things that were true. We discovered that Eli was a really great climber, right? We're your dad is a great climber. He loves to climb. And he used to climb trees when he was a kid, and then when he was older, he climbed rocks. And you guys are so much alike. And Eli would say, Papi, tú y yo somos iguales. You and I are the same. And then he'd go on to ridiculous things. Papi, no me gusta la salsa de tomate. I can't stand ketchup. Lie. He loves ketchup. I can't stand ketchup. Papi, tú y yo somos iguales. You and I are the same. Of course, I'm eating it up, right? I'm tell me all about it. My oldest son is just like me. I love him. He's amazing. And I realized, sitting in front of a Facebook photo that night, that I am feeling what has bound generations of men together for ages. I am feeling what I discovered when Eli was born. I am feeling what he felt when I put him to bed. I am feeling what he felt when he swore he hated ketchup. Right? And the only thing I can think of is how embarrassing it is to love this guy. But I let it happen. I just kind of let it rip through me. And it hurts bad. And this pain began to follow me around. You know, I went from not knowing it was there to not being able to get rid of it. And one of the two results I got is a cousin. And he wrote back. And he gave me my father's email address. So again, weirdest message ever. Introduce yourself to your father. Ready, set, go. You know? So I didn't know what to say, so I was like, oh, this is my name. I live in Salt Lake City. I have kids. I like music. I write. Here's some pictures. And you know, it was one of those like sends that should have background music, you know? It was that kind of send. 60 seconds later, he replied, "It's great to hear from you. So thank you for reaching out to me. I'm at the office right now. I'm working. I don't have a ton of time to write, but tonight I will." He never wrote back. And for a time, I wrote every day. For a time, I wrote weekly. For a time, I wrote monthly. Then quarterly. And at some point, I just had this idea. I need to go look for him in person. I'm going to embark on this one-sided let's meet in person mission. And I flew down to Guatemala for a week. And it didn't hit me that he wasn't going to show until I was on the plane ride home. Right? So two days after that journey, Noelle and I stay up well into the night talking about what didn't happen on this trip. And she falls asleep. And I still need to talk, right? So I pray. And I say, look, I have done everything that I can think of to reach out and make things right. But I can't make things right on my own with a guy who won't even answer an email. You know? How am I supposed to get rid of this pain that everywhere I look, it's just there, and this anger? This song is called Peace with a Lion, and it's about those questions. I remember a deafening roar, his weight as I crumble, a lifeless thud. I remember his teeth in my throat, his claws at my navel, the scent of blood. do you make peace with a lion? I want to know. How do you make peace with a lion? The pain won't go. I've been hobbling around for so long, a bundle of torn flesh and broken bones, and it's hard not to yelp with each memory, each one covered wound I still haven't outgrown. How do you make peace with a lion? I wanna know. How do you make peace with a lion if the pain won't go? How do you make peace with a lion? I wanna know. How do you make peace with a lion if the pain won't go? And that night, a full sentence came to my mind, and it felt like warm water washing over my chest. Don't look to him for restitution. Look to me. I will pay you what he owes you. Every penny and more. And I knew that forgiveness was not favor to the aggressor. It was a declaration of independence for the aggrieved. And I knew that that night, the weight of the pain and the anger and the resentment began to be lifted from my shoulders. And I knew that it was those things that had bound me before to my father's act of violence, but that I was going to have help in being free. And I felt like the pieces of me that had been broken could be one again. Thank you.
Can we keep clapping?